You've probably thought about a Spanish version of your site, or you're about to. Or maybe you have a Spanish toggle button. Most law firms face the same choice: hit a toggle button and translate to Spanish, or build a real standalone presence. It looks like the same thing, but it's not. Here's why that choice matters. I'm Daisy Lopez, a growth specialist here at Abogados Now. We've worked with over 500 law firms nationwide and driven more than $250 million in settlement fees. And we're a Google Premier partner, the top 3% of agencies in the world. We manage site strategy for hundreds of consumer firms, so we see which language bets pay off and which quietly die in the search results. Many law firms are still asking, is a Spanish website worth it? If you want to scale your law firm and add more revenue, the answer is yes. Here's the scale. According to the US Census Bureau, about 44.9 million people, or one out of every seven people age 5 and up, speak Spanish at home in the United States. Spanish speakers are not a niche anymore. They are a huge presence in the US. A Spanish website is a must. The real question is, how do I start? Let's start with the simple truth. A translate to Spanish toggle on your English page is not the same thing as a real Spanish site. They look similar, but they're built on totally different foundations. The question isn't whether there's a Spanish speaking market. The question is, can they find you when they search in Spanish? Toggle switches your page text to Spanish when someone clicks it, which looks bilingual to a person reading it. To Google, though, you still have one page. The URL never changes. There's no separate Spanish version for the search engine to find, crawl, and rank independently. This is where firms lose, and they don't even know it. You translated your site into Spanish, but Spanish searchers can't find you because Google can't index a hidden toggle. When each language lives at its own address, Google can find it, crawl it, and rank it in Spanish search results. That's how people in your market actually find you. Google recommends using different URLs for each language version of a page rather than using cookies or browser settings to adjust the content language on the page. If you prefer to dynamically change content or reroute the user based on language settings, be aware that Google might not find and crawl all your variations. But SEO is only half the story. There's something deeper: how the community sees you. A language toggle tells a Spanish speaking client, oh, yeah, we also do Spanish. It feels like a feature you added as an afterthought, not a place built for them, whether you meant it or not. A real standalone Spanish website with its own space in their language with a brand behind it says, this firm es para ti. It's the difference between an afterthought and a promise. And here's what matters: Spanish speaking clients can feel that difference. They know whether you built something for them or just switched a lever. That feeling affects whether they trust you enough to pick up the phone. It's not wasted investment. It's actually how you win that client's confidence. So here's the practical question: does this mean you need to build and maintain two complete separate websites? The honest answer is no. You don't always need two full sites. A well built Spanish section with its own URLs, its own proper structure, its own setup captures most of the benefit without doubling your workload. Before you go and Google Translate your website, make sure your copy is natively written by someone who understands the market. That section has its own pages, its own URLs, its own identity in Google's index. It can rank for Spanish searches just like a separate site would. The worst option, honestly, is the fake bilingual site, the toggle that looks like you've done the work but ranks for nothing. It costs you in search visibility, in how the community sees you, and in the trust you build. All three, while you've already paid for translation. Here's how to make the call for your firm. Start with the honest question: how much of your caseload or how much of your target market in your area is Spanish speaking? If it's material, if it's a real part of your business or your growth plan, then invest in a real findable Spanish website. Don't half step with a toggle. Second, do you have a Spanish name or a Spanish brand identity, or do you want one? If you do, or if you're thinking about it, that's actually where standalone Spanish really shines. You build a brand, not just a translation. Third, do you have the bandwidth to maintain a real Spanish presence? Not a toggle, but actual pages, actual content, actual updates in Spanish. If the honest answer is no, then don't build something you'll neglect. A neglected Spanish section is worse than a toggle because it looks dead and hurts your brand. So here's the bottom line: if your Spanish speaking market is real and growing, build a real, findable Spanish presence, not a switch, something built for them, findable by them, or trusted by them. Or if you're looking to seriously capture this market, build one anyways. It's a win win situation for your law firm. Don't translate your English site and hope a toggle solves the problem. It won't. Not for search, not for trust. This is a move that will stop your law firm from scaling up. A real Spanish presence says you're serious about serving that market and it actually works in their favor and yours. It's not extra, it's essential. If you're trying to figure out whether standalone Spanish makes sense for your firm or to build one that actually ranks and converts, book a call with us. We'll work through your specific market and show you the best website and SEO engine to help you dominate your competitors. Talk soon.